Man, so I just learned I just learned a new term, and somebody was speaking and I forgot his name. Oh, I forgot his name. I forgot his name. Oh Lord, I forgot his name. Forgive me. But he spoke about emotional incarceration. And when he said it and when he explained it, I didn't know that I could identify with it so much to the point to where I really felt shackled for a second. I felt as if there were shackles on both my legs and my wrist, tying me back. Just because I felt with my soul what it was and how much that it sticks with me. He said emotional incarceration is a term that we, especially as men, black men, but it's not just incorporated with black men, it's with men, it's with men as a whole. We lock ourselves up emotionally. We put our hands around the bars on purpose. We close the door and we put our hands up. We hold on to those bars because we're supposed to. I mean, after all, isn't that what society taught us? They taught us to keep our emotions, repress our emotions, suppress our emotions. That's what they taught us, right? And so many men are just emotionally incarcerated. And sometimes, when they let themselves out, they're institutionalized. So they go back. It's uncommon for men to be emotionally free. And if they by the grace of God do become free, it's not for a long period of time. Because again, they're institutionalized. Emotionally incarcerated. I want you to think and ask yourself, do you identify with that as a man? Because most likely you do. You know how it feels. We don't know when to rest. We don't know when to put our guard down. Because again, how can we? It's sad to say that people don't know how to. That's a problem. That's a reality. Whenever you think about, whenever you say it out loud, you realize that is absurd. But that's not a fallacy. That's the truth. A lot of men do not know how to handle that. A lot of men do not know how to use their emotions properly. A lot of men don't know how to embrace their emotions. And that is a problem. That is an epidemic within itself. Now, I'm not saying that only men can be emotionally incarcerated. Men and women can. Black women and black men are heavily emotionally incarcerated. However, we handle incarceration differently when it comes to that. Women that use their they use they're emotionally incarcerated by using their lust, but they tend to negate everything else. Lust is a key factor. For black men, it's anger. But you know what both of those two tie in together? the lack of love. The lack of love, that's what ties them two together. That's what causes those. For black men, it's anger. For black women, it's lust. That's a problem. You know what's sad? As men, we have the key. However, we want to give that key to a woman so they can unlock the door. Why do we do that? It sounds so foolish, doesn't it? Because we can easily just open up. We can easily just unlock the door and open it ourselves. But no. In hopes, we want to give it to a woman to open it for us. She doesn't know how to. She can't. It's up to us. But we don't know how to, and that's a problem. So whenever she can't unlock the door, we become angry. But anger is just a surface emotion. What lies deeper is disappointment, resentment, sadness, fear. That's the feelings that we feel whenever we hope so bad that maybe she can unlock the door. But she can't. And it's not fault in her. She just can't. It's up to us to unlock the door. We're so shackled, we're so tightly gripping those bars, we think we can't open it. But that's a fallacy, that's false. All we have to do is just let go and open the door. Even by some miracle that she does open that cage, it's going to lead to another one. Because you didn't do it. You as a man did not do it yourself. I know we as men, we need to spend time with that. We need to let ourselves free from emotional incarceration. And I want you to think about how deeply it's affecting you. Because it is. Whether you know it or not, and if you do know it, that's great. But a lot of people don't really understand how deeply that affects you. A lot of men are left institutionalized from that. And then that stigmatizes to their child, then their child. It's like a generational curse. To be emotionally incarcerated, it causes a lot of pain, spiritually, mentally, and physically. And not just to you, but everybody who cares for you, everybody around you, everybody who deeply is concerned with your well-being, anybody who has had a glimpse of your heart and your soul. It affects them deeply. Essentially, you're striking their heart as if there was no rib cage. We got to become free from that. We do. Emotional incarceration is a terrible thing that black people definitely face. It's affecting us more than almost any other race. Or let me say this, it's affecting us more than any other race. And I'm not saying it's not affecting the other races, but with us, it's deeper. It's so much deeper. And you can tell. Statistics can even show you. So much anger. So much pain. So much lust. Not enough love. So I want you to take the key out your back pocket, because that's where it's at. If you think you don't know where it's at, that's where it's at. Well, no, first off, take your hands off the bars, because you're so tightly gripping them. Take your hands off the bars, grab the key from the pocket, and unlock the door, and walk out free.